Hey everybody, it's Money Penny here, and I want to just do like a small little recap from Idlewild. And of course, I'm back in Arizona, which is beautiful, but not the same as Idlewild. And it is Kentucky Derby Day. What an upset that was. But more importantly, I want to touch upon one of our videos that, well, actually, two. One had to do with Steve talking about his family and how fortunate he was to have a beautiful childhood with both his parents. And not all of us are so fortunate to have that experience. And I was not. However, I don't want to be defined by that. And uh, the second thing was journaling that he had brought up in one of our videos. And if it wasn't for him, Steve, back in December, he challenged me to approach my issues because I do suffer from different mental illness due to my childhood, PTSD, 9/11, you name it. But we all have issues. So, but I don't want to be defined by them any longer, nor will I be. And he has a lot to do with that. And had me look at things much differently and challenge me in a way that was very, very difficult. So he had given me a journal and asked me to journal my feelings and put down what I wanted out of life. And that was extremely hard because, to be honest, I thought I could define what I wanted in life, but I really just didn't want to feel pain anymore. I don't know if some of you out there have been like that, but I have had people in my family and friends look at me and say, "You're a shell of the person I used to know." And that's hard to deal with. And one of the reasons I came to Arizona was to help that healing process. And Steve came into my life at a time when it couldn't be more perfect, which kind of describes our relationship since high school because anytime that something was going on in my life, he just happened to know when to call and would be like, "What's up? Talk to me." So back in December, he had given me a journal and asked me to write in it and talk about my feelings and write down my experience in order to perhaps help others in the future and maybe make a book. Well, I didn't think I could write, and I was really struggling. And then it wasn't until I was in California and he sat at a table and literally laid down the book with a pen and said, "We're not leaving here until you start writing." And I'm a pretty stubborn person. And I was like, no. And so is he. So, how we complement one another. And he's like, "You can do this." And I just started writing. And I wrote and I wrote and I cried and I wrote. And then I said, "Do you want me to read it to you?" And I read it to him, and he said, "You can write, and you have a story to tell." And he was right. I do. And it's very difficult to tell. I will in future recordings. But most importantly, I just want to say that my life has been transformational since December, and that our coming together again has helped both of us. Um, Not only with when I went to LA and I saw his artwork that he had kept in a cave. And I'm like, "How can you keep this beautiful work hidden from the rest of the world? You should be sharing it." And that's what really started the partnership and our business together was, both of us were hiding in some ways. And we bring out the best in one another and challenge one another. And help the healing process. But most importantly, I saw such a beautiful, um, giving, talented man that was not the same guy I knew in high school. And I want to just share a story that he probably will be mad at me for sharing, but oh well. Um, he is the type of person that had met a person who shared a story with him in regards to she had been hurt in, I believe it was a car accident, and she needed to go to her coffee shop where she was working and explain the story of what happened to her, and she basically got, let's just say, screwed over, and she legally, and should not have been. And the next ride that Steve happened to have was an attorney. And there are no surprises and no, if you listen to him talk, and he's right, and I've learned the hard way that synchronicity is in our lives. And if you open your eyes and you pay attention, it's there. And a lawyer was in the car in the next drive, and it was 45 minutes away, where he took the attorney and told the story. And the woman gave her information and said, please give this to her. He drove 45 minutes to an hour back in the opposite direction to give this girl the information. Now, who does that? That's a loving, giving, sacrificing person. And that is who he is. That is who he shows in his artwork, in his life coaching. Um, but I'm going to say most of all in his artwork, because it does show up. And that's what struck me as so different, because here's a guy in school who, let's just say, I'm completely surprised because he's self-taught. He had no schooling in this, and what beautiful, beautiful work comes out of it. And I'm just so excited for the future and what this business holds. And I just want to say thank you to him, for helping me and to grow into the person that I am, because I will never, ever. Oh, sorry, here's Bila. Here's my baby. I will never go back to that person that I was before, and I'm a more confident woman. I speak differently, I talk differently. I look at life differently. I pay attention to the synchronicities that life is trying to teach me. And like you said in the last video, a feather in the wind, I'm truly trying to be that feather in the wind and just listen to God and where he wants me to be. And I just have to say thank you. And I look forward, and I'm very excited to what the future holds. Thank you.